What's up, guys? Quanshake So 2 here, and NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2 just went off the air. And don't even have to say it. At this point, I don't. What do you expect? Do you think it was a bad show? Because if you did, you're crazy. Because NXT, like I say in all my NXT reviews, they deliver every single time, and tonight was no exception. All the matches on the cards were from good to amazing. So let's just kick it off. Let's get this review a going. First match saw No Way Jose taking on the greatest man to ever live, Austin Aries. This match was pretty good. I'm still not really behind No Way Jose. He just isn't doing it for me. The gimmicks like that, like him and Fandango and Brodus Clay, like dancing gimmicks, they don't really do it for me. But it was okay. This match was actually really, really good, and went way beyond my expectations because I really didn't think this match was going to be that awesome. But I was stupid at thinking that because come on, Austin Aries is in here. Of course, it's going to be at least good, and it was. It was very good. Was it the best match of the night? No, but No Way Jose held his own in that matchup, and it was pretty good. I loved, especially loved the ending of the match where Aries would hit a sunset flip power bomb right into the what does he call that move? He calls it the last chancery submission hold, and he got the win over No Way Jose. After the match, Hideo Itami would hit the ring and confront Austin Aries. Aries would try to attack Hideo. He got the best of him for a little bit, but after that, he hit that Kento Rush or that Hideo Rush, knocked out Austin Aries, and then for the first time on WWE television. They show he's done it on house shows. He's done it, on things like that, but never actually on any kind of WWE outlet that you can view. That's officially WWE. He hit the GTS. Yes, the GTS. The first GTS in NXT was hit tonight on Austin Aries, and the crowd went crazy. Before he even hit it, the crowd was chanting GTS, GTS, GTS. And Lord behold, he put him on his shoulders, and boom, that knee right to the face. So it seems like we got our next feud, hopefully for the next takeover. I don't know when it's going to be, but Hideo Itami versus Austin Aries. I am ready for. The next match was Billy Kay taking on the debuting Ember Moon. Before I get into this matchup, I didn't know really anything about Ember Moon. I didn't know who she was, so I looked her up. Saw a couple matches, and she was known as Athena on the Indies. And man, this chick can really go. So I could not wait. I could not wait till Brooklyn to see her debut. And man, she put in work. She does some awesome stuff. She does some very innovative moves I have never seen before. It was one move she did like a freaking like a front flip into a splash in the corner. A whole bunch of cool freaking things. This girl is really talented, and I cannot wait to see her versus Asuka, hopefully in the future. But that's the future. Let's get back to the present. She had her match with Billy Kay. Billy Kay, she holds her own. She's okay. She isn't anything to run home about, but she's decent in the ring. I kind of like her. I guess I'm not really sure what her gimmick is, but I like her presentation with the cool like jacket thing she's got on, but she's all right. And she held her own against Ember, but Ember would hit that sweet twisting stunner. She jumps off the top rope and nails her opponent, catches him and nails him with a freaking stunner. It is this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, oh man, I can't see anybody kicking out of it. You get hit by that, that's got to be a three automatically. That move is way too cool. I love it. I think she calls it the O face on the indies, but I have no idea what she's gonna call it in the NXT. But man, it's a badass finisher. But yeah, she gets the win. Ember Moon, awesome. I also like her little. She's wearing red contacts in her eyes that make her look really really cool. She looks like a freaking Mortal Kombat character when she comes out. But yeah, man, I'm ready to see more Ember Moon. Hopefully, she's on the next NXT taping. We can just get her right off the bat because I need to see some more Ember Moon because she is awesome. Well, the next match, it was simply glorious because Bobby Roode made his debut. against Cian. What's he? Cian Almas? I can't never say the guy's name. I think it's Cian Almas. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, made his debut against this guy. Really, really good match. Cian is really, he does a lot of cool moves, but he's another guy that I don't know what it is, but I can't get into him. I don't know what it is. I feel like because we have people like that already on the roster. I mean, he reminds me a lot of maybe his body build or whatever reminds me of freaking Hunico, aka Sin Cara. But he does a lot of cool things, so I give him that. He had like this really cool plancha to the outside, spinning plancha to the outside, which was cool. And he does a lot of other cool stuff. But man, it's about Bobby freaking Roode, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry seeing, but I've been waiting for Bobby Roode. He made his debut here tonight, and it was glorious. Just like his theme song, it was glorious. And my goodness, that they freaking brought him out on a huge pedestal. I mean, if that's not a cocky heel entrance, I don't know what is. He came out on a freaking huge pedestal and came down to the ground. He got out. And then that was just, it was amazing. I loved it. It was just so cool. Came out there though. He had a really really good match with Sion. And his finisher, I think, he's gonna hit the Rude Bomb, but that's not his finisher. I guess it's too close to the AA, so he's gonna be doing a pump handle drop, which I think he calls it the Glorious Bomb, which is cool. I take that. That's nobody's doing pump handles. Nobody did a pump handle drop since Road Dogg, I think. So it's been a couple decades since we've seen a pump handle drop as a finisher. So I'll take it. But yeah, man, more Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode got the job done, pinned him for the 1, 2, 3, and it was simply glorious. Next was my second favorite match of the night. It was the tag team title match between the Revival taking on their challengers, which was Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Wrestling, aka Johnny Gargano. This match was so good, man. I'm telling you, I gotta say it, and I may have said this in my other NXT reviews, but the Revival has to be the greatest tag team today in WWE. I mean, you can go ahead and talk about the the Usos or the New Day, and I love the New Day. I love them. They're one of my favorite tag teams in WWE. You can talk about the club, whoever and whatever, the Alpha, American Alpha, but the Revival, these guys can go. They personify a heel tag team done right. These guys do everything in their power. That's because sometimes I don't feel like tag teams do everything in their power to win a match, but these guys do everything in their power to make sure they walk out with those tag team titles. The reason why they are two-time tag team champions. Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, these guys are just freaking awesome, man. There were so many false finishes in this matchup, and every time these guys get in the ring, they just deliver no matter who the opponent is. And it's not like they're carrying the match. No, their opponents are always top-notch guys, from Enzo and Cass to American Alpha, and now Gargano and Ciampa. But, man, just the things they do, their psychology in that ring, man, is just so freaking great. There was one part in the matchup where I think it was they went for their finish, the Shatter Machine, and Gargano got Ciampa out of there, helped him out, and he went for a jackknife cover. I thought they won the titles right there. Then they hit their tag finisher, which is like the knee and the super kick combo. Thought that was it. Wilder got in there, broke that up. I think they hit the Shatter Machine at one point, but I think somebody broke it up, I believe. And then at the end, though, they did that move. They did the big cast where they put him in like a scorpion deathlock, and then like just freaking stomp him or knee him in the knee, and then he put him in the freaking which looks like Corey Graves' old move, the Lucky 13. Put him in that, and Gargano tapped out, and they remain the premier tag team, the best tag team and they deserve to be the tag team champions because these guys, I love them, man. I love them so freaking much, and I cannot wait. Well, I can't wait because I don't know if I want the NXT run to end right now because they're one of the best things about NXT. But yeah, they get the job done. Gargano and Ciampa come up short, but I'm pretty sure they will get another opportunity at the titles down the line. Next was the co-main event. It was the champion Asuka taking on the number one contender Bailey in their second encounter. The first match they had, I did not like that much. I felt like it wasn't that good. But I think now going back and thinking about it, I think it really served its purpose. The purpose of that first match was to just continue to get Asuka over as an unstoppable force. That's why I was slow and methodical, and that's why though it was the way it was. It was really just to get her over, saying that she is unbeatable, and even the great Bailey couldn't take her out. That's that first story. But this one was the match I was waiting for, that I knew they could have, and they brought it. And guys, I have to say this. You're probably gonna be like, "What? Are you serious?" But this was my favorite match of the night. It really was. Asuka and Bailey took over Takeover in Brooklyn, and they brought it, man. They told a great story, hit great freaking wrestling at the beginning, back and forth. Hit your brawling, hit your kicks, punches. Bailey doing all her signature stuff, Asuka doing some signature stuff, and breaking out a couple of new like combinations. Man, her combinations were on point tonight with those kicks to the head and just oh my god, those stiff strong style like freaking kicks, man. It was one kick she did. The first kick of the match she did to Bailey knocked her freaking right in the mouth. She came off the second rope, I believe. And like she knocked her freaking teeth out down her throat. Crazy, man. I love Oscar, man. I don't care. People may criticize her for not being able to, really speak English well, but she tells the story. She basically, I mean, yeah, I would like she spoke English a little bit better, but she just tells a story and tells you everything through her facial expressions. Her facial expressions are what really is like the high point of her because she definitely tells the story with those. But yeah, the match was great. Bailey got out of the Oscar lock. I think she got out of it twice. Hit the belly to Bailey. Oscar kicked out of that. Then Bailey got kicked in the head, kind of no salted, but it was really cool though. And she kicked her in the head again, and then did this spin around and boom, one more kick to the freaking head. 1, 2, 3. Asuka remains your NXT Women's Champion. And man, I don't know who can stop this woman. Maybe it may have to come down to Ember Moon. We'll see down the line though. But I really love this match. My favorite match of the night. Next was the main event of the evening. It was the champion Samoa Joe taking on the contender Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT Championship. I just love the presentation of this matchup. So NXT always bringing those cool WrestleMania like entrances. To their events. And earlier in the night, we saw Bobby Roode come down on this cool pedestal. But this time in the main event, it was a violinist who came out there and played Shinsuke's freaking theme song on the violin. And it was epic. It was amazing. I don't know what to say about it. It was cool. After that, Joe came out, and then that's when the match happened. It was good. It was a very, very good match. I really did enjoy it. Sometimes at some points it felt kind of slow, but it really picked up towards the end. I don't know, something about it that just didn't make it my number one match. I really thought Asuka and Bailey in the tag match delivered. There was more. I don't know what it was. There was more? What's the word? I don't know. I was just more invested in those two matches for some reason. I was really, really looking forward to this match. Not saying that it was bad. It was very good, especially towards the end. The freaking Kinshasas, man. Joe countered it. I think it was the first time we seen that. Tried to get him in the muscle buster. Came down from that. But in the end, you know, that Kinshasa hit. 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke Nakamura is the new NXT champion. Who would have thought? Who would have thought this would have never happened in back in the day. You probably go back a couple years, and I don't think this would have happened. But there are two, not one, but two Japanese superstars who were on the top of the NXT roster, basically leading the way. They are the leaders of this show right now. No Americans, no Samoans. It's freaking two Japanese talents, and I'm loving it. I'm like that they're giving these people very, very talented stars like Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura opportunity. And just because they can't speak, the greatest English, they still get their chance because they do what most fans really care about, and that is their profession inside that ring. They know how to go out there and have amazing matches. And if you have amazing matches, you deserve opportunities. And this is what NXT is doing for these two. And I'm just loving it. But yeah, man, NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2, great show. Was it better than the first one? I don't know. I feel like the first one was a little bit better because I don't really care about guys like I don't want to say I didn't care about them, but guys like Cien Almas and No Way Jose just I'm not really into them that much. So that takes a couple points away, but that doesn't take away from the show being awesome and very enjoyable. And it's got me hyped for tomorrow night, which is SummerSlam. I'm ready, guys. Anyway, guys, that's Brooklyn, and I will see you tomorrow night for my review of SummerSlam 2016. So until then, guys, stay gold. Peace.